I'm in Salad and I saw Cashback. It is written and directed by Sean Ellis, and if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This was requested by Lorenzo Areola. We're going to cover it on Tits and Areolas. It's an exclusive show that he live streams on his channel, but also we put it on our Patreons afterwards. So also you should definitely check that out. Patreon.com/ASEPresents, and also you can request a movie. Also Patreon.com/ASEPresents. On with the review. This movie starts with seeing Ben, and he's really sad, and he's like, oh, my girlfriend has broke up with me. Looks like I'm gonna take up the night shift at the supermarket. And immediately, I really like the narration style. There's a narration style. It's like, Ben is like, oh, well, I can't sleep, so might as well take up 8 hours at a night shift. And then he comments on how people live, like the art of going through an 8-hour shift. And I can relate to that. I've done a lot of fast food jobs and a restaurant job. I've done a lot of fast food, and I've just been like thinking the entire time, I'm like, man, I don't want to be here, but I'm here for like another 6 hours, another 4 hours. Maybe I should like break it up in like twos and like consolidate my time to like every 2 hours and then a break, and then like I repeat it until the 8-hour break. And I found that to be very helpful when I did work those jobs. That was how I dealt. That's the art of dealing with an 8-hour shift that you don't want to do, like a supermarket. And Ben is just observing like all the people around him doing this. And what's fascinating about Ben is that he develops the power to stop time. And so he stops time and he preserves like a moment, because he's like commentating on like, oh man, I wish I could just preserve a moment in time. And he gains that power, which is really cool. And he gets like this perspective, and like I really like the perspective that Ben gives. He's like, oh well, I'm starting to see the beauty in art and everything. I'm starting to be like an artist, and I like this twist a lot, because he also, with him wanting to be an artist, he meets a lad who wants to go to South Africa, but she's just kind of like checked out, and they kind of like talk to each other. They get together, which is cute. I find this to be very cute. I also really like how the movie first shows this boss man. This boss man's like, oh, I'm boss man, I'm wearing a suit. Oh yeah, here I am being a suit. And then like it slowly uncovers and slowly unravels like him and like what he's like. And he's just always trying to get the approval of other people, to the point where he gets like a really bloody nose on like the soccer field. Like they're playing company soccer, and he plays, and then he gets, no, I have to go to the hospital. And then frickin' he's like, okay, you know what? I just got out of the hospital. How about a party on Saturday? And I'm like, dude, you're not taking care of yourself. And then the thing that I got out of this movie a lot was like, none of these people are taking care of themselves. They are not doing what they want to do. They're just thinking about stuff while they're at an 8-hour job, just doing whatever, dealing with terrible customers. Oh my goodness, there's so many terrible customers in retail and fast food. Oh my goodness, they're like the most uptight people just are there, and they have to deal with that. And I feel bad for them. Oh man, I love seeing like the types of people that there are in the supermarket. We also have Ben's friends, and I say friends because, oh man, they're like, oh, haha, let's do a prank call. Let's prank call Ben, and let's be like, oh, hey, we're a guy. Hey, go to this address because we're interested in your art, okay? And he's like, whoa, I'm ecstatic. And then like, he and like a bunch of people go to this lame party. It's the worst party I've ever seen. I wouldn't go to this party. I mean, I've been to one party, like one coworker party ever, and that was when I was working at McDonald's, and I was like 16, I think. Maybe 16 or 17, I don't remember. It was before I was a manager, so 16. So I was working at freaking McDonald's. This person invites me to a Halloween party and be like, oh, hey, you wanna go to this Halloween party? And so I did, and I arrived 2 hours late. Everyone's drunk, I didn't know anyone. And I left like 5 minutes after. And I'm like, looking back on it, I'm like, you know, I've been to cooler parties since then. People that I actually like, who I have common interests with. And I'm not just because I'm working there and we don't have like common interests. And so like this guy has a bad experience at a party, and I don't want this guy to go go back and be like, oh, well, I'll go back home and be like, oh, well, all those parties suck. No, they don't. They just suck with coworkers. I don't know. These type of the office workers, retail workers, fast food workers, any parties that are outside of the workforce, I just think kind of not the best. I mean, the chemistry probably isn't there. If you had a party with your friends, there'd be more chemistry, obviously. This is a fun thing I'm commenting on. But also, I find it fun that even though these guys prank called Ben goes to the artist gallery that supposedly called him. He goes there, he has his art. He's like, you know, I was pranked. Someone told me to come here, but I was clearly pranked. And even though he's there, the guy will still look at his art and he's like, you know, do more art galleries. And then he gets signed up for more art galleries and he brings the chick along and I'm like, this is awesome. Oh, my alarm went off. I have food in the oven alarm. I better make this quick. They're so adorable together. This is so beautiful. Wow, this is so lovely. And they get to like live their dreams together. And I find this to be so beautiful. And also the narration, I like it. So it's like the narration is like, you know, there's like a slight shift between when you don't feel in control and you feel control of your time. And now the 8 hours of work kind of just fades away because you have all the time that you want, you're doing what you want. And so all the time in the world matters to you, not just like 8 hours of when you're off work and 8 hours of when you're sleeping, and then the 8 hours that you do have to work, it doesn't matter at all. So I really like this, and I really liked this movie. I remember I was doing a watch along on my main spicy site, and I was you could definitely see my reactions to the movie live, and I was really loving this movie. I was having a grand old time. I enjoyed it. And honestly, I saw the IMDb. Okay, I should have mentioned this at the very beginning, but the very first thing that I remember opening up the movie, I was like, okay, it's free. Okay. Oh, it has a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes. This could be either really good or really bad. So I had like no expectations for this movie. But luckily, I got hooked with the movie and I really like the movie. And so I really like the acting. There's a scene that made me feel weird. It was when Ben was like freezing time and he was in the supermarket aisles and there was like a bunch of chicks and he was like lifting their bras and like feeling their tits, and I'm like, it's weird. It's a little weird. Like, I like the concept of him freezing time, but like it's a little weird, but I get it. It's about like the control. Once you see what's out there, then you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay. Mystery solved. I don't need to solve this mystery anymore. I'm gonna move on. And that's what Ben does. And so that was a very fun scene to watch. This movie was just very fun and entertaining to watch. I do remember my movie watching process. I was really enthralled, and then like 2/3 of the way through, I was like, I get it, yeah, I get this movie. And then there's another like 30 minutes. I'm like, okay. I'm not like as hooked as I was at the very beginning. I felt like this movie went a little long personally because I got the point of the movie at like the first 2/3 of the movie, but it's a movie, it has to resolve, so I get it. You know, I like the acting. I like the ways that the voice sounds. I know it's British. I guess I like British accents. There's a freaking moth there. That was a British moth. It was trying to attack me. Anyway, so I liked the acting. You know, I really liked like some of the composition and the shots chosen, and also the blocking. I liked how the actors moved in each scene. I felt like, oh, they're at a supermarket. They're not on green screen. It's nice. I'm refreshed. I'm so happy. So I like this movie a lot. Man, is there anything else I could say about this movie? This movie is very colorful, and I really like how Ben focuses on art, and now he's just solely focused on art, and that's his life's main purpose. And that should be life's main purpose, because there is no purpose to life. You have to create one, so might as well produce good art. So that's what I feel. If you produce bad art, you live for the money, then your money doesn't go with you in the grave. And if you're on your deathbed, you're gonna be like, oh wow, I made a lot of money. Wow, I don't feel fulfilled. If you don't do what you want to do and pursue art, well, that's how I feel personally. I'd rather pursue art than pursue the art of money. Art's. This is good art. This is great art. I can talk about this movie all day, but I have an extended version of this review on Lorenzo Areola channel, his YouTube channel. It's a show called Tits and Areola every Tuesday at 10 p.m. ET. Check that out. So I gotta give this movie a solid. It's like a solid 7.9 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. YouTube really likes that. If you want a fast track movie review, you can do that for $20 dinos at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all them daily movie reviews, go to this link tree, find the way you can help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews. So you can go here. And until next time, mint salad, I'll see you later, my sour croutons and baked bits. Here it is.